2025 1.4 assessment, question 3E. And unfortunately, we're coming to the end of our journey, and I just wanted to share some of my emotions with you. So I thought I'd play the song for you. I have. I've never felt so connected to a student. And there's no lie here. This is serious. I owe everything I have in this moment to you for studying with me. And I wanted to duet with you. Anyways, enough of that. We've been having a good time. Wrong page. We're going to finish off this last question together. The question says the diagram shows a solid metal cylinder. The cylinder has a base radius of 2x and a height of 9x. Once again, no need to highlight anything because everything that's written here is also written there. That's great. The cylinder is melted down and made into a sphere of a radius r. Now, this is information that we need to pay attention to closely. Find an expression for r in terms of x for the volume of the sphere. So there's two things that we need to know here. One, if a cylinder is melted down and made into a sphere, it means that the volume of the cylinder is exactly the same as the volume of the sphere. So we know that these two things are going to be exactly the same. If we find the volume of the sphere, we know what the volume of, if we find the volume of the cylinder, we know what the volume of the imaginary sphere is going to be. Yeah? So that's important information to have. The other thing that we need to know is r in terms of x. R in terms of x. What does that mean? Well, it means that our answer needs to be r is equal to x with maybe some junk around it. So eventually we need to find out the value for the radius, or I guess a term that expresses the radius. So this is what we're aiming for. R is equal to something. I'm going to put this down here so that we've got a goal in mind. The last thing that we're going to need is we're going to need some formula for a cylinder in a sphere. That is not something that you need to memorize. It is something that is going to be in your resource sheet. And so what I'm going to do is magically make it appear on the right-hand side of your screen right now. We now have all the information we need to start this question, so let's give it a go. We are going to be finding the volume of the cylinder first, and what I'm going to be doing is just taking this formula right here and substituting all of the information in that I have. So starting off with volume of cylinder equals pi times, what's the radius? The radius is 2x. 2x squared times the height, 9x. Now, this feels right, but it is wrong. Okay? I'm going to give you just a few seconds to look at this and tell me what it is that I've done wrong. The thing that I've done wrong is I'm only squaring the x. What needed to happen is I needed to square the entirety of the radius. I needed to square the entirety of the radius. Oops, that got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put brackets around here and square that. Okay, that's really, really important. Those brackets are going to change everything because without the brackets, this is the same as 2x squared. But with the brackets, this is the same as 4x squared. Yeah, so those brackets make a huge difference. Okay, let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do next. I'm going to do volume of cylinder is equal to pi times 4x squared times 9x. And now I can multiply both of these things together. You may be tempted to pull out your calculator and multiply the pi as well, but if you go back to what we worked on earlier, which was this question here, 2D, we did the same thing where we kept the pi value separated. We kept the pi value separated because we knew that pi was going to come back into it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again down here when I get back to where I'm going. We're going to keep the pi value separate. So I'm going to say the volume of the cylinder is equal to pi times 4 times 9 is 36. So 36. And then x squared times x is x cubed. If you get this far, if you find the volume of the cylinder, you are given a U rating. Yeah, you've been given achieved for that. The next thing that we need to do is we need to remind ourselves that the volume of the cylinder is the same as the volume of the sphere, right? The volume of the cylinder is the same as the volume of the sphere. So I've already got the volume of the cylinder here. Now I'm going to make it equal to the volume of the sphere, right? So taking those two things into account, I'm going to do pi times 36 x cubed is equal to 4/3 of pi. Oh, I should write this differently. 4/3 pi r squared. Wait a second. What are you doing, Joseph? This is a common error, excuse me. This is a common error as well, right? I haven't transferred my equation well. This is not the same as that, right? It should be r, cubed. Okay, so just double check your work there. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of this pesky pi sign on each side. So what I'm going to do is divide each side by pi. Divide by pi, divide by pi. Of course, any number divided by itself is 1. That includes pi. So pi divided by pi is 1. So we're going to be left with 36x cubed on the left and 4/3 r cubed on the right. The next thing that I'm going to try and do, and remember, the reason that I'm trying to do this is because I'm trying to get r by itself. I'm trying to get r by itself. So I've been getting rid of things on the right-hand side of the equation so that r will be lonely and all by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this 3 on the bottom, the divided by 3, and I'm going to do that by doing the opposite of dividing by 3, multiply by 3. Which means, black, which means on the right-hand side, I'm going to have 4r cubed is equal to 36 times 3. What is 36 times 3? It is 108. 108x cubed. And then I want to divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. 108 divided by 4. That's going to take me a little bit, actually. R cubed. 108. 4 is going to go into 100. This is going to go in twice. 8, 2, down, 28. 28 times what? 7. 27. 27x cubed is equal to r cubed. If you get to this point right here, you have got merit level. Yeah, you've got merit level. The last thing that you need to do is cube root, both sides. Find the cube root of both sides. The cube root, actually I'm going to get rid of this for now. The cube root of r cubed is, of course, r. Yeah, r times r times r is r cubed. The cube root of r cubed is r. The other side, it's a little bit harder. You could put 27, the cube root of 27 into your calculator and find out that it's 3. I just happen to know that off the top of my head because I've been doing this a long time. And then we also have to find the cube root of x cubed, which is x. So this right here is our answer. R is equal to 3x. The radius of the sphere is going to be equal to 3x. Yep. That's I should have used a red pen instead of a highlighter. That is an excellence level answer right there. So if you get all the way down to this point, you have excellence for what we're dealing with. I hope that you've enjoyed hanging out with me. I sure have enjoyed hanging out with you. In fact, you could say that I've had the time of my life. I've never felt this way before. I swear, it's all because of you. Have a good day.